Yo, what up, guys? Welcome back. As you know, it's Tet holiday or Lunar New Year, as the rest of the world calls it. So, we made the video last time about what the traditions are and what people do in their hometowns with their families. But Huong and I actually went back to Hanoi a little bit early so we could spend some time in Hanoi just relaxing. Now, one of the coolest things though is Hanoi is normally really busy, hustle and bustle, as you've seen in a lot of my vlogs. Like, just a lot going on, lots of crazy traffic. But now that everybody's in their hometown until the end of the holidays, the city is very quiet. And there's parts of the city where literally there's nothing. And a lot of the alleyways around us that are usually really busy, even in the evening you'll see people around, like now just dead, just nothing. You see the flags, you can see some lights on, but a lot of the buildings even look completely deserted, and it's absolutely incredible just to see. Considering Hanoi, you know, New York's the city that never sleeps, and a lot of the other cities we see always busy, but Hanoi's always been quiet in the evening, and now during Tet, it's really just completely dead, and it's absolutely amazing to see. And unfortunately, most of us foreigners travel around during this time because it's the only time we have holidays. But I definitely recommend if you're here during Tet, especially if you're looking for just a lazy time to relax, it's a really good time to literally do nothing, you know. I realized you don't need to always take a vacation. You can go and enjoy the peace and serenity of wherever you are and take it in and just relax, truly relax. Oftentimes when we go on vacations, especially with Huong and I, we end up just running around and doing this and that and this and that. And we actually can't wait to get back to Hanoi to relax. So now we finally have that opportunity to take it easy, and the city does a really good job of reflecting our feelings of what a vacation really should be. Oftentimes we're too busy traveling around, not just Vietnam, but outside of Vietnam, that you never really get to experience the beauty of the areas near you. You know what I mean? If you think about back at home, how when tourists come to your town, they explore every nook and cranny and they find things that you didn't even know existed. And it's really the same thing here. Too many of us just decide to leave Vietnam and travel around. So it's really nice to be able to sit here and just experience the peace and calm with nobody around. And it reminds me of a completely different topic, because I told you I've been on this self-development grind, and that's that this peace and quiet really gives me the time to think and decide what I want to do and how I want to do it, and kind of make my plan, and also have the time to reflect back. So I actually have, I don't know if I told you, but I started journaling, keeping I just have a few days here, but at least I have a few little bits of things I've taken, some notes I've taken of the Tet holiday. And I actually went yesterday and bought a little book that I can actually put in my pocket. So I found that this, especially while I was walking around filming the B-roll, it's really nice to be able to just sit down and take some notes about how I'm feeling currently or what's going on. I always thought that journaling and keeping notes about yourself and your feelings and stuff was kind of weird and I don't need that, I can take care of myself. But it's really nice to put it down and later be able to reflect back on how you did, even if it's the day before or the week before, because you find things that you wrote down that you didn't remember the week later or the week after or the month after. So this way I can keep a track of how I'm going towards my goals. Am I actually able to achieve them or not? And again, the quiet of Hanoi has really given me the opportunity to be able to actually take it all in and enjoy it and sit down and think without having honking and talking and driving and this and that. That peace and quiet has let me dig into my own mind and see and reflect back on how I'm doing. Now, what I want you to take away from this and to keep in mind is you don't need to spend a week or whatever in a quiet place to reflect. You know, you don't need to be like Gandhi or Buddha sitting under a tree for years meditating, but take the time, whether it's 10 minutes a day, 10 minutes a week, whatever you have, and get away from everything and clear your mind. For me, I've been using that time to write, or just to think how you're going towards your goals, how you're, doing things correctly or where you're making mistakes, because that self-reflection is the time when you can actually grow. Because once you stop growing and you start assuming that everything you're doing is right, then you're kind of reach your peak, and we never reach our peak. We should always be striving for more. Nobody's perfect. So you use this time to write down and then to reflect, to see where you can improve the next day or the next week or the next month, and continually be making a plan on how to make yourself better, right? Because oftentimes, like, we think we know best, especially as young people. And then, like, you see older people who still have no idea what's going on, but they already know what's best. And no, that is not the case. You need to sit down and you need to reflect back on how you're doing, and you need to have that peace and quiet to delve into your own mind. Because the problem is that we are inundated and surrounded by constant noise in the world, whether it's your Facebook notifications or your Messenger notifications or your Instagram likes or whatever. For me, it's 9gag and memes. Like, everybody's got a vice, and everybody will waste time instead of doing something productive. That's how the human mind works. We're naturally lazy, right? It's easier to open Instagram. It's easier to look at memes. It's easier to watch YouTube. And that's fine to do. There's nothing wrong with that. You shouldn't deprive yourself entirely, or else you're just going to become a miserable human being. But instead, we need to use some time to stop and think. Because as we can see in the world, that's something that's really missing for a lot of people. Is a lot of people are not thinking about what they're doing or how they're doing it. And you should be making a plan and thinking about what you want to do before you get to an oh crap situation, because you haven't had a plan and now you're old and it's all screwed up. Whether it's your finances, whether it's your relationships, whether it's your behavior, or whether it's your habits. You need to make a plan, some kind of goal, some kind of daily goal, something small like I talked about in my 1% video. But you need to constantly be pushing yourself every time, because the only way you're going to become successful in life, in business, in relationships, is by constantly improving. Nobody wants to be with a person who's the same. You know, I don't want Huong and me to be the same in 20 years. I want us to be even better than we are now. More successful, more caring, more loving. And you can't ever stop doing that. You need to always be striving to grow yourself. And for me, I've been doing it with these moments where I can stop and think. It's so quiet here that it's almost like you can get lost in your thoughts, and it's been really nice. I know a lot of people get really scared about it, but you need to get into your brain, and you need to sit down and organize it, because people are afraid to be with their own thoughts. But even if you're not in a good place, you need to sit down and start organizing how you're going to go about it and what you're going to do first to start spinning your life around and improving it. So whether you're in a bad place, whether you're in a good place, you still need to stop and say, what can I do better next time? Make a plan and think about it. Or even take some time to just think about what you appreciate, what you're happy for. Currently I'm reading the book called Man's Search for Meaning. And the author was a concentration camp victim. The way he talks about life was completely different than anything I'm used to. And it makes me realize that, like, if this guy survived what he went through and had a successful, happy life, then I can do it too. There's a lot of worse situations out there that people have made the best of. And it's about having that. You need to make sure you're constantly trying to get on that path of improvement, because no matter how bad your life is, you can always turn it around. So it all starts in your head. You know, it's all in your mindset. So go out there and take your time, and whatever you have, you know, whether it's a few minutes a day or a week or whatever, you need to go out there and give yourself that time to reflect. And don't do anything but think, maybe write, and organize yourself. Because remember, each step you take forward is going to improve you, and it's going to compound on itself exponentially. You see, Rome wasn't built in a day. You're not going to get to the top of a building by taking one big step. You're going to take thousands of little steps. And that's the same way life works. You know, remember, it's the long game. So it's all about consistency, whether it's fitness, whether it's work, whether it's relationships. Each day, just do a little bit. Don't be that guy who has a terrible relationship and then once a month buys her flowers and says, oh, everything's fine now, until the next fight when you buy her chocolates in a month. No, but do little things every day. Tell her how important she is to you, or give her a kiss or a hug, you know, or for school, you know, don't cram the day before, but constantly just review your work each day, just a little bit at a time. Your grades will go up exponentially. Anyways, guys, Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and you know what to do. Like, comment, and subscribe for more. And I hope you enjoyed this more relaxing video, and I'm definitely enjoying my time relaxing in Hanoi, because remember, you don't always have to be on an adventurous and a high octane adventure. Sometimes sitting down relaxing is absolutely fine. Something I've realized. All right, guys, peace.